my lovelies, it is time for another round of Wheel of TBR, so stay tuned. Hi, hello, welcome to my channel if you're new here, and if you're not new here, welcome back. So Wheel of TBR is one of my multiple TBR games that I play in order to pick my books for the month. I spin the wheel 5 times and select a book based on the prompt that it lands on. I change the prompts out each time I get one. I also mark the board, and when it has 5 marks on one slice, I have to do a bonus spin. So before we get into the spins, let's go over how I did. So let's start out with my Have I Read It's. So I had a couple Have I Read It's that rolled over. So for Have I Read It number 30, I was to read The Girl of Fire and Thorns, and I have not read this, so I will be rolling this one over. For Have I Read It number 31, I was to read Asylum by Madeline Rowe, and I did read this. For Have I Read It number 32, I was to read Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi, and I have not read this, so I'll roll this one over. For Have I Read It number 33, I actually had to read 3 books. So one of those was Wonder by R.J. Palacio, and I did read this. The next one was The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson, and I have not read this, so I will be rolling it over. Oh, the next one I don't have a physical copy because I have something later in the series and I needed to just like listen to an audiobook or something of the first book in the series. So that is Beautiful Bastard by Christina Lauren, and I have not read that, so that one will also roll over. And then the next one was for Have I Read It number 34. I had to read 2 books for that. The first one is another one that I'm reading before the book that I actually have, and that is Shadows, which is book 1 in the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And then also for Have I Read It number 34, I was to read Vampire Academy by Rachel Mead, and I have not read this, so both of those books, Shadows and Vampire Academy, will be rolled over. Now normally this is the part where I tell you which books won for the next few rounds of Have I Read It and add those to my TBR. But because of the things that happened in June, which I'm not sure if you'll have seen in the vlogs before this video or after, but once you see you'll understand, I didn't have the opportunity to get those videos filmed and everything before now. So no Have I Read It's being added to this month. Okay, so now for the 5 books that I spun for June. Wow, words are hard right now. Okay, so for the first spin was mythology inspired, and for that I was to read The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in the Trials of Apollo series, and I did read it. For most anticipated, I was to read The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin, and I did read this one. This was our group book for Season-a-thon, and we had our live show with the author. I'll link that up here if you haven't gone and checked it out, but it's such a good book. For contemporary, I was to read Wonder by R.J. Palacio, and I did read this. For anthology, I was to read Thriller, edited by James Patterson, and at this point in time, I'm currently reading it, and I'm on page 99, so if I don't finish this, I will roll it over, but I'm really hoping to finish it because it is for Season-a-thon as well. And then for the spin, a book that involves a game, I selected In Real Life by Cory Doctorow and Jen Wang. This is a graphic novel, and I did read this. So these are the only ones that I'm having to roll over this time, so not too terrible. As far as my buddy reads for July, I will be reading The Trials of Apollo Book 2, The Dark Prophecy, as well as Camp Half-Blood Confidential, which is like a novella or something. I do not have a physical copy of that one. And then also The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare. I was supposed to do this last month, but I was supposed to do this in June, but because of things that happened in June, I wasn't able to get to it. Okay, so that's everything as far as how I've done, and now it's time to get to these spins. As I mentioned, when I get 5 marks on the board, or when I hit the 5th time on a slice, then I have to do a bonus spin. So I have a couple of landmines here. This one here, this is Adaptation, has 4 marks on it. Book with a Monster has 4 marks. Gifted has 4 marks. And Cards Against My TBR Question has 4 marks. So if I land on any of those, I'm going to have bonus spins. Something tells me I'm going to have some bonus spins this month. All right, let's get started with spin number 1. Buddy read. Okay. So I guess for that I will select The Dark Prophecy at book 2, or The Trials of Apollo book 2, The Dark Prophecy, as my buddy read. Okay, we will mark this, which gives us 4 marks on that one as well. Yikes. Okay, and we'll replace buddy read with Once Upon a Book Club. I have so many of these I'm behind on, like a ridiculous amount. The tops of most of my bookshelves are full of Once Upon a Book Club boxes, so I really need to, I also have them stacked up everywhere too. I really need to get to a lot more of these. Okay, on to spin number 2. A through Z. So for this one, I have to pick a random number generator, and I pick a book that either the title or the author's first or last name starts with that letter. So let me grab my phone. I bumped the tripod. Okay, so I'm just going to show you on here my random letter generator, and we're going to press this 3 times. So 1, 2, one word, 2, 3, D. Okay, so for D, this has a D in the title, like the first word in the title, not counting the or a or something like that, but also the author's last name. So The Divorce Party by Laura Dave. This is also one of my Cards Against My TBR. No, yes, Cards Against My TBR. So cool. Okay, let me mark that. That gives us 3 on that one. And we will replace that with Alcrate Jr. So just any book that's come in one of my Alcrate Jr. boxes. All right, spin number 3. Gifted. Gifted is one of those that has 4 marks, which means I'll be doing 6 spins instead of 5. The Love Hypothesis, which is one of my Cards Against My TBR books, was also gifted to me by Jacqueline Wheeler. So that is what I'm going to select for that one. Yay. Okay, let me erase these 4 marks. Okay, and we will replace Gifted with 4+ word title. So a book with 4 or more words in the title. All right, so that was spin 3. So now on to spin number 4. Series. So this is just a book that's part of a series. The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare. This is book 1 in the Eldest Curses series. So I'll be reading this for that. And it's also one of my Cards Against My TBR ones. Okay, marking that gives us 3 on there. And we will replace series with a big book. right. Okay, this is spin number 5, and I only add marks for those first 5. So when I'm doing my bonus spins, I don't add marks for those, but I will still change out the prompt. All right, spin number 5. 4+ word title. I thought I was gonna go with a Melanie pick, but all right. And there's no marks on that one, so cool. Only have to do 6 spins. I'm going to select War of the Cards by Colleen Oakes for this one, and it's also one of my cards against my TBR books. So yay. Okay, so let me mark that one. And we'll replace that with Buzzword. So if that comes up, whichever month it comes up, there's a buzzword for each month. This month it's a book that has a book related word in the title. All right, so that was spin number 5. So now all that's left is my bonus spin. So spin number 6. Al Crate Jr. Okay, I have to look. I think I'm gonna have to go and look at one of my videos to see which books are Al Crate Jr. And I will be right back. Okay, so for this one, I went through quite a few actually Al Crate Jr. videos that I've done to find one that I hadn't actually read. And the first book that I came to that I hadn't read didn't look as big as it is in that video, but that is Time Sight by Lynn Jonell. And it says, castles, battles, and ancient Scottish highlands, and a boy who is determined to bring everyone safely home combine in this absorbing time travel adventure. And it sounds like a lot of fun, though it's a little over 400 pages, so it's a little bit of a chunker. But that is what I'm going to select for my Al Crate Jr. prompt. And I will go ahead and replace this, though I'm not marking it because that was a bonus spin. And we will replace that with Different Country. Actually, that book would have worked for that one too. That's just a book set in a different country other than my own. Okay, so those are all of my spins for this month. I'm surprised at how many books I've come out with. Hold on. It looks like I've only got like 17 maybe on my TBR. But let me go ahead and also tell you what I'm going to read for my TBR Knockout for July and for Buzzwordathon. Also, I'm still currently working on my June Buzzwordathon, which was all the rage. The book was a book with the word all in the title. So I am still working on this. It seems I do not have any books that have a bookish word in the title for my what I've already got selected here, except for thriller, but I can't really count that because it's something I'm reading this month, and it's kind of hopefully get finished by the end of this month and not have to roll over, but we'll see. So I think I'm going to select The Reader, book 1 of Ink and Gold by Tracy Chee. I have read this one before, but I want to do a reread of it, and it's Reader, so that's book related. So there we go. And then for July, the theme is beach reads. So the prompt one was to read a book with a water creature. So I think this is stretching it a bit, but I want to use The Sea Witch by Katie Robert for this one. Granted, she's a person in here, but I mean, it does say The Sea Witch, like from The Little Mermaid. So I'm gonna count this one. And then prompt 2 is to read a book with water on the cover. And I don't think that any of these have water on the cover. Let me look. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to go with Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi, because if you look right here, it's like tears or a waterfall coming from the eye there. So That's what I'm going to pick for that one. All right, so in the end, I think I ended up with only 18 books for the month. It's still a lot, but it's definitely better than it's been in the past, so I'm happy with it. Fingers crossed that I can get a lot of it knocked out and not have too many carryovers. I know next month I plan on doing like a couple, maybe it's not next month. I know soon I've got like 4 Have I Read It's coming up in 1 month. I don't know if it's next month or the month after, but yeah. So have you guys read any of these books? Did you like them? Did you not? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye.